I hope that you're doing well. I have a question for you today, and that question is a silly one, but maybe that's where we're going to start. The question that I have for you today is who wants to go back to 2020? I don't want to go back to 2020. I'm done with 2020. I mean, it was such a terrible, terrible year. And I mean, going back to 2020 is not uh, attainable. Even if you promise me millions of dollars right now, I am not going to go back to 2020 because 2020 was such a terrible year. Yes, there were some wins here and there where, we had some good time in 2020. We had good money in 2020, but there were also times when we lost money in 2020. And this morning I was just reflecting on the journey, right? 2020 and even before 2020. And I'm thinking about what are the things that are possibly going to happen in 2021 and beyond. And one of the things that I thought about was what I said between 2016 and 2017. I said to my friends, people that I work with, I said to them, there is a possibility that working from home will be a big thing in the future. And we're talking uh, 1 or 2 years from now. And these guys laughed at me. And when I even say that I'm going to start a business where I'm going to be primarily focusing on working from home, and whoever is going to work for me is going to be working from home. And they laughed at me and I said, that will never happen. But as we speak, those colleagues of mine are working from home right now. And maybe as you also listening to me, you know this is true and you're also working from home. So what are some of the things that we can expect to happen in 2021? I've sort of already given out that one in the beginning. So the home office, I mean the work from home or work from office. What are the trends? What are we going to see? So we've already seen a lot more people working from home, and that is supported by research. Research says that people that have worked from home or that are working from home are more productive than those are working at the office. Those that are working from home are work 1.4 more days than those that work from the office. And we've also seen a massive increase in productivity for those people that are working from home compared to those that are working from the office. And this is understandable because you don't have any distractions when you're working from home. So those distractions like the office telephone ringing, someone sitting next to you coming up to ask questions or to want to chat to you. I had a serious problem when I worked full time before because you would have someone, I would be at work at 6 in the morning and someone comes at 9 in the morning and you're already in the mood of working. This person wants to chat about what happened in the previous day. That was an absolute waste of time. And then you have massive hours that you spend sitting in traffic that is going to work and coming back from work. So that is not a thing anymore. And what you're going to see now going forward is an increase in what we call co-working spaces. And if you don't believe me, go and look around Century City, go and look around Woodstock in Cape Town, and you can now see these buildings of co-working spaces and luxury apartments coming up. And you kind of have luxury apartments at the top, shops at the bottom, or even offices at the bottom. So these are the things that we see more of going into the future. And if you look at Century City right now, you see a massive pieces of lens that they're busy uh, uh, developing for them to actually make these um, things a reality. The second thing is authenticity, being real, right? We never used to have this thing in the past. People were so fake, right? Um, we were driving borrowed cars and borrowed money. We were staying in expensive apartments that were paying massive rent. Um, we there were a lot of things that were not so authentic about us. But came this thing of working from home, we started to have video calls and we started to see what people's homes look like. We started to see, things that we're not normally seeing. We started to see kids running around and we started to see real life. And this is something that I think will continue even in 2021. And I believe that people are going to be more real. And I wrote a piece in the past few months where I narrated the story about why I sold my car. And That's because working from home and waking up every day looking at my car parked outside became torture. Right? And I started asking myself, why do I actually need this car? In the first place, I bought the car because that well, it makes me feel good, it's fast, and when I go out for meetings, people are going to take me seriously. But this is not a need anymore because I can have my meetings online. And this is something that we're going to see more of in the future. Marriages. Now, this is something that I've also been, called out for, and people don't want to hear this. They don't want me to talk about this, but this is something that I see. And like I said, and before we even continue, let's put a disclaimer out there. I'm not predicting the future. I'm not trying to tell you not to do certain things or to do certain things. I'm just trying to give you my predictions based on observations that I've made and the trends that I've seen happening in our country and in our economy, specifically in South Africa, because that's where I am right now. Now, talking about marriages, I think there's going to be a collapse of marriages in the future. And this is also backed by research, by the way, because the research says that especially young people in living in the United States and young people in general, they don't, they no longer feel the need to get married. They feel so liberated by just being single. Some research also says that people in this was a research done in the US, but I think it's applicable everywhere. Young people prefer being single and they prefer short-term relationships, casual sexual relationships, compared to your traditional marriages. So my belief, and if you look, before I tell you my belief and what I think is going to happen in 2021 and 24, going beyond in terms of marriages, according to reports and research, divorce rates in China increased by 30% after lockdown. In South Africa, this increase was 20% after level 4. So you can start to see this happening. So there's going to be a lot more marriages collapsing in the future, and a lot more people feeling the need not to get married in the future. What are my other predictions for 2021 going forward? I think particularly in Africa, and like I said, I'm in South Africa, so this is the context is from a South African point of view, but I think that it will happen in other African countries as well. I think there's going to be a lot of civil unrest as people protest about jobs now, or even just social grants. And this is essentially because we're going to have a situation where AI, artificial intelligence, automation, and other things, uh, automating processes, and some jobs become redundant. And there are some people that are not upskilling now. Some people that are feeling that the economy or the government is letting them down by not creating jobs that will still be out of jobs because of the technologies or an Internet of Things. And we're going to see a lot of these people protesting and asking the government for jobs, right? So if you ask one of those people that could be, whose jobs could be in jeopardy because of the internet, because of technology, because of artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and all these big words, you need to start upskilling now. You need to upskilling. You need to start upskilling now before before it's too late. The other prediction that I'm going to give you is number two. I think the fight against racism is going to grow. And you've already seen the hashtag Black Lives Matter, you've seen the hashtag All Lives Matter, you've seen the EFF going to some historically racist places and challenging the system and saying this needs to go. And I think that as we expand and as our kids integrate in schools and preschools, and as as the economy grows, as people travel around the world, this fight against racism will intensify. I'm not saying that maybe we will win the war against racism, but what I'm saying is in the next 5 to 10 years, racism is going to be on the low. The next prediction is, you probably already know this one: electric cars and self-driving cars will become a reality. All right. And the few companies that are busy working on these cars as we speak, Tesla, for example. So we know that in I think in 2021 this car will become a reality. If not 2021, it's going to be after 21, but it's definitely going to be a reality. Now, the next one, Amazon, you've seen Amazon is testing drones that they think they're going to be using for delivery. I think that in 2021, this is also going to be a reality. The gig economy is growing. And if you don't know, the gig economy is where you can just get a job as a gig, right? Or online, your Fiverr, your Upwork, those things will grow ultimately. And I think that this is my prediction that in the future, people will now be able to run more than one job at a time. You can actually walk into a job from 8 to 10, and then another one from 12 to 2, another one from 3 to 5, another one sometime in the evening. And this is because of the internet that is allowing us to also become global citizens. I also think that more and more people will start trading online, that is, trading stocks, trading forex, trading options. And but remember that there are some risks that come with these things. And you've read about companies like MTI where people have lost money because these were essentially scams. So be on the lookout for these things. The next one, cryptocurrencies will now become regulated in 2021 going forward. Um, sorry, yeah, just had a call coming in. So cryptocurrencies will now become a reality going forward, and we're going to have more and more people talking about these things. Now, the next one is those, a vaccine for COVID-19 is coming. A vaccine for COVID-19 is coming. This could be in 2021. I think it's going to be around March or June 2021. The next one, accountants who have not yet made a switch to advisory are going to be left behind and are going to be forgotten forever, right? And that's also accountants that have not made implemented technology are also going to be forgotten. This is also going to happen with companies that have not made a switch to technology, that have ignored technology. These companies are also going to be forgotten. Remember, technology is not your enemy. Technology is your ally. You need to be making use of technology. You want this to happen, right? The the Commission of Inquiry into State Capture. This is going to come to a conclusion in 2021, and I think that we're going to see a few and quite a few high-profile arrests in 2021, and we might see some convictions as well. Some big people going to prison in South Africa. The next one, uh, the first commercial flight to Mars will now happen in 2021. I could be wrong. If it doesn't happen in 2021, it's going to happen after 2021. Then we're going to have a truly shared economy going forward. And then blockchain is going to grow even bigger, and we're going to be able to eliminate the middlemen. We're going to make sure that payments become uh, safer, become cheaper because we're going to eliminate the middlemen. Lastly, in as far as pandemics and epidemics are concerned, I think that we're going to have a lot more of those in the future. And well, maybe the world will be better prepared for the next one, hopefully. But the thing with epidemics is that they're going to hit us without a warning. And when it happens, we won't know what hit us. Right? So if you're a company and you're running a company, just make sure that you have contingencies in place to make sure that your company is safe. Now, as I close, and as you reflect at the close of 2020, I want you to think about what has happened. I want you to think about your goals that you had for 2021, for 2020, not 2021. So have you achieved these goals, right? Ask yourself a question. Have you achieved the goals that you set for 2020? If you have achieved your goals for 2020, ask yourself, what did you do so well in 2020 that you could do again in 2021? If you didn't achieve your goals, the question for you is, what did I not do so well? Right? Is it because of things that you could control or things that you could not control? And if it's because of things that you could control, then think about what it is that you need to do in order for you to make things better going forward. And before you close 2020, please make sure that you have also made goals for 2021. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope to speak to you again in the future. Take care. Have a good one. Cheers. Bye.